5, 4, 3.
It's a fast, topical, satirical and hopefully funny puppet show that reflects on some of the major issues of the day at the moment, and also makes some rather silly jokes about some of the minor issues of the day.
I'll knock off the cloud effect.
What he's got now for Maggie with Gorby Crossing.
The French shop, is that one?
Right, fine.
We need to see them up for racks.
Right, we're happy.
What Spiiting is doing this morning is we're recording about 5 minutes worth of completely topical material, which will go out on the show this evening, which we then add to another 20 minutes which we've recorded last week. We get a fairly steady stream of complaints. Very often, I'm afraid, from people not really, I think, quite understanding the sketch. I mean, for instance, we did a sketch about how the government is not doing anything to release Terry Waite about 4 weeks ago. And we got a lot of complaints from people saying, this is terrible, how could you do this? Don't you realise that he's been missing for 9 months and nobody seems to be doing anything to get him out? And you have to just reply and say, I'm sorry, that's exactly what the sketch said. But I do think there's a problem that a lot of people think that it's a silly, funny show and we shouldn't deal with anything serious. And we do. We are a satirical show, first and foremost. There are things we've thought about doing and haven't done. I mean, we haven't done anything in this series, for instance, about the Zeebrugge disaster. Now, I know a lot of people probably throw their hands up and say, well, you shouldn't even think about doing something about it. But we thought that there was a satirical angle to do with the company. But we never had a joke or a sketch. We've, I think, done 1 or 2 sketches with William and Harry, and they've been terribly mild. I think people are more offended by just seeing them than actually what we ever say about them.
Give me a tan
In the piece.
A tan.
A tan.
A little more yellowness. A little bit more yellow, a bit of jaundice.
Yeah.
Come round.
There are certain politicians who are so, I suppose their heads are so big that no matter what you did about them, they'd still love it. They'd still be saying, oh, could I have a copy of that?
Can you put the copper up again, Steve, please?
Right, let's try it with the track.
We've done a sketch which is to do with the banning of a recent Radio 4 programme, which was involving the spy service. And that involved a book written by somebody we're not allowed to mention about something we're not allowed to mention. So it's a trail for a television programme.
That was the first take, okay?
Okay, here we go, chaps. Puppets up, please. Let's go. And go track.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The story so far, as compiled under the new government reporting restrictions. A civil servant, we're not allowed to mention, has met another civil servant, we're also not allowed to mention, to do something which obviously we can't mention. Meanwhile, yet another person we can't mention has gone to a country our lawyers suggested we should not disclose. There they meet the first 2 people we didn't mention and do something covered by Section D of the Official Secrets Act.
There's always a slight problem because they are puppets and people think of jolly puppets like the Muppets, and they don't expect them to suddenly come out either with rude words or to take part in sort of political skits.
Sales are booming of Spycatcher by Peter Wright. Oh my God, I said Peter Wright.
You're Nick Shunny. High treason under Section Z of the